Namaste to all my dear students. Today I am giving you very important question for 11th class, and that is very important for you. So, first question is like this: what is isomerism? Question is like this: what is isomerism? Write the possible isomers of following compounds with is IPAC name. So, at first we have to know what is isomerism. So, isomerism is like this. Compounds having same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties due to different structures are known as isomers, and properties itself is known as isomerism. So, when you take a very simple example like this, C2H5OH. So, you know that is ethyl alcohol. Common name of this compound is ethyl alcohol. IPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. You know, I think. So, what you see, ethyl alcohol is the common name. That is the common name. Its IPAC name is IPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So, how many carbon over here? 2 carbons. So, what we write? Ethanol. Generally in alcohol, what we add? Suffix OL. So, next one is CH3O, CH3. What the name, common name of this compound? How many methyl? 2 methyl. So, what we can write? Dimethyl ether. In IPAC system, so for how many carbon over here? 1 carbon. So, what we write over here? Methoxy. And what you see? Methane. How many carbon? 1 carbon. So, what we add? Methoxymethane. Yes. So, that is what according to definition of isomerism, what we have? Ki molecular formula MF means molecular formula. So, how many carbon over here? 2. How many hydrogen over here? 6. How many carbon over here? How many hydrogen over here? 5 and 1. How much? 6. Yes. In this case also, what you say? How many carbon? 2 carbon. How many hydrogen? 6. So, what you see in both cases? So, compounds having same molecule formula. So, in this case, what you get? C3H6O, molecule formula is same. C2H6, in this case also C2H6O. But when you talk about this structure, what you see in this case? Functional group is alcohol, but in this case functional group is ether. So structures are different. So according to definition, compounds having same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. When you talk about the physical and chemical properties of ethyl alcohol and what you see dimethyl ether, what you see? So physical properties and chemical properties are totally different to each other. Why? Now question arises, why? So because these two compounds have, in first case what you get alcohol, in second case what you get ether functional group. So due to different structure, they have different physical and chemical properties. So they are known as isomer to each other. Why? Because structure is different but molecular formula is same. So you have clear? So in this case what we see, molecular formula is same but physical and chemical properties are different. Why? Due to different structures. In this case what you get? Alcohol, but in this case what you get? Ether. Yes. So that is about what is isomerism. Now next one is, so you have clear what is the isomerism. Next one is always ask you in examination 1 and 2. So write the possible isomer of following compounds with its IUPAC name. IUPAC name means what you see? You know, IUPAC name means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. That is international what is organization. Yes. So always we have to follow any rules in organic chemistry. So first one is generally asked you in examination. So write down the possible isomer of first one. What do you see? Butane. Its molecular formula is what do you see? C4H10. That is the alkane. You can say C4H10. So alkane, you know, CnH2ICN plus 2. That is the what is the formula for general formula of any alkane. So C4H10. So it has two possible. I will talk about how many. What is the possible isomer of butane, pentane, and what is the hexane? Generally, butane, pentane, and hexane are asked you in examination. So it has two possible isomers. First one is what do you say? CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Yes. So how many carbon? 1, 2, 3. Always we have to keep in mind that carbon always tetravalent. Tetravalent means it must have 4 valent. 4 atoms attached with the carbon atom, you can say simply. So common name has no any rule and regulation. So common name is what the name of this compound? N. Generally we start from 4th carbon. So what we have? N. N means normal. How many carbon over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we have? N butane. That is the common name. When you talk about what you see IUPAC name, so what we have? How many carbon? 4. So what we write? Butane. Next one is CH3, CH3, CH3. Always carbon must be tetravalent. Always we have to keep in mind. So common name of this compound is carbon-carbon branch over here. So what we write? Iso. Carbon one remaining after remaining this methyl. How many carbon over here? 1, 2, 3. So what we write? Isopropane. Common name. Iso why? Because carbon is branch over here. Now in IUPAC system, what we have? 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon. So methyl group in second carbon. So what we write? 2 position. Yes. So 2 methyl how many carbon? 1, 2, 3. So what we can write? Propane. So when we ask in examination, write down the possible isomer of C4H10, then we have to write both formula with common name and IUPAC name. So generally in this case, what the question over here? So only we have to write the IUPAC name. So I will give you some idea about the common name also. So if when ask you in examination, write down the possible isomer of C4H10 butane. So what we have to write? It has 2 possible isomer, first one and second one. If you write this one, so you get full mark, 2 marks generally. 2 marks generally asked. So that is butane. Yes. Next one is what we say? Pentane. So its molecular formula is C5H12. Yes, C5H12. So what is this? So by the formula of this, the general formula of what is alkane. Yes. So it has 3 possible isomers. Yes. So look at what they are. So first one is what we see? A. CH3 chain, CH2, 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 CH3. Yes. So common name is what we see? In chains, so what we write? Generally N. N means normal. How many carbon over here? 5. So what we write? We can write over here N pentane. N means normal. Always keep in mind. N means normal. And what the IUPAC name of this compound? So look at over here. So IUPAC name. So how many carbon? 5 carbons. So what we write over here? Pentane. Yes. B. What to say? CH3, C, CH3, CH2, CH3. So what do you see? Carbon branch over here. So what we write in common name? Iso. Iso means branch of what is branching of carbon atoms. So what do you see? Isopentane. Yes, in IUPAC system, what we have? In through position 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will talk later about the what see IUPAC. So many rules we have to know about the IUPAC rule. So I will talk later on about this one. So in 2 position is methyl group. So what we can write? 2 methyl. Then what we have to write? How many remaining carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we can write? 2 methyl butane. Yes. First isomer, second isomer, third isomer is like this. CH3, 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 CH3. Common name is, so if central carbon is attached with 4 carbon, that is represented by neo. So keep in mind, if central carbon is attached with 4 carbons, so in common name, what we have to write? Neo. How many carbon? 5. So what we can write? Neopentane. In IUPAC system, what we have? 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon. In 2 position is 2 methyl over here. So what we write? 2 dimethyl. Why we write 2 times 2 over here? In 2 position, 2 positive methyl over here. So 2 dimethyl. What the remaining carbon? 3. So what we can write? Propane. So what do you see? Pentane has 3 possible isomers. If you ask in examinations, we have to write all these 3. First one, second one and third one. You will get full mark. So you will get full mark according to maths, like maths you can say. So, in this case, pentane has how many? 3 isotopes. Yes. Now, next one is 3 hexane. Its formula is C6H14. Its molecular formula. So, it has how much? What to see? 5 possible isomers. So, this question is generally asked you in examination in 5 marks. This one in 2 marks. So, keep in mind. So, it has 5 possible isomers. So, look at over here. So, these all are very important for examination. Just 5 possible isomer. So, first one. So, chain CH3, CH2, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, what is the IPAC system? You have to focus on IPAC system only. So, what the IPAC system over here? Hexane. Yes, first one. Second one is CH3, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. In which position what is the methyl group over here? First position, second position, third position, fourth position, 5 positions. What we can write over here? In 2 positions is methyl branching over here. So, what we write? Methyl. How many remaining carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, what we can write? Methyl pentane. Yes. So, 2 possible. Now, the 3 possible are like this. What is the C1? CH3, C. So, that one CH3 branching over here. So, H. Carbon is always tetravalent. Always keep in mind. So, in which position what is the methyl group? So, you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, what we have? 3 methyl. How many carbon over? 5. So, what we can write? Pentane. 3. So, you can easily get 5 marks. Very, very important. So, 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 marks. Yes. So, what we have? D1 is CH3, 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 CH2, CH3. 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4 position, 2 position, 2 methyl over here. So, what we can write? 2, 2. Why? So, repeating over here 2 position. And how many methyl? 2. So, what we can write? Dimethyl. Then how many remaining carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what we can write? Butane. E. What is C? CH3, 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 H. Carbon must be tetravalent. So, always we have to keep in mind. So, what do you see? 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4 position. Yes. So, what we have? 2. Yes. So, what in which position? 2 position is methyl group, 3 position methyl group. So, what you can write? 2, 3 position. Then how many methyl? Dimethyl butane. 2, 3 dimethyl butane. So, here generally if you ask, write down the what's a possible isomer of hexane, then you have to write all these 5. So, you will get 4 mark, 5 marks. It's very interesting. So, generally asked in examination. Yes. So, that is about the hexane. Next one is C2H6O. Molecule formula MF. MF means molecular formulas. What you see? C2H6O. So generally in examination you ask, so write down the possible isomer of what you see C2H6O. So what we have? So learn technique, tools, how to do. How many carbon over here? 2 carbon. How many O over here? 1 O. How many hydrogen over here? 1 H. How many hydrogen? H. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 hydrogen, 2 carbon, 1 oxygen. So you have to think, you have to always practice. If you practice, you have never problem. So what the name, IFAC name? Ethanol. Why ethanol? How many carbon? 2 carbon. And what the functional group over here? OH, alcohol. So what we have for alcohol, secondary suffix is OL. So what do we write? Ethanol. Next one is CH3O, CH3. So we have 1, how many carbon over here? 1. So meth. In ether, what we have to add? Oxy. Then what we have? Methoxy. Meth. Why meth? Because 1 carbon over here. So methoxy. Then how many carbon over here? 1. So what do we write? Methane. So you have to write both these. If you write these two formula, you can get full mark. Yes. Next one is C3H6O molecular formula, MF. So general examination asks you, so write down the possible isomer of C3H6O. C2H6O is very important. That is very important. Yes, pentane and hexane is also very important. So what we have? How many carbon over here? 3 carbon. 3 carbon. How many oxygen? 1 oxygen. How many hydrogen? H. So what the name of first, second keto group over here? So what we have? 1, 2, 3. So how many carbon? 3 carbon. So what we can write? Propanone. In 3 carbon generally we not locate the position of the keto group. From 4th carbon, generally 4th carbon, देखिए हम क्या करछौं, what we have to do? We have to mention the position of the bodies. What we have? Propanone. Next one is CH3, CH2, that is aldehyde group. That is aldehyde functional group. That is keto. So what the name of this compound? IFAC system. Propanol. What we have? Propanols. If you write these two formula, you can get full mark. It's very, very interesting and generally asked in examination. 4, 5 molecular formula C2H4O2. So how many carbon? 2 carbons. What we have? CH3, that is acid. That is also functional group, you can say. So I will talk later on about the isomerism in detail. So what do we see? What the name of this compound? That is the acid group. Yes. So what we have? How many carbon? 2 carbons. So what we can write over here? Ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid. Next one is SCO CH3, that is what you see? Ester. So I will talk what you see in isomerism in detail. So ester group. So what we have? So how many carbon? Methyls. In ester always you have to write the last alkyl group. So what we have? Methyl. Then how many carbon? Remaining carbon? 1 carbon. 1 carbon means methane. Then what we have to do in ester? What we have to add? O8. So what is methane weight? Methane weight. So E of the methane is substituted by O8. So that is about the what to say C2H4O2. That is also very important. Generally asked in examination. So we are talking only about the important questions with solution. Sixth one is C3H8O molecule formula. C3H8O. So how many carbon over here? CH3, CH2, CH2OH. So how many carbon? 3 carbon. Correct. How many hydrogen? 3, 2, 5, 2, 7 and 1. So that is correct. So how many carbon? 1, 2, 3. So what we have? Propanol. Yes. Next one is CH3O C2H5. So generally in ether group, lower, at first we have to consider the lower. So what we have? Meth, 1 carbon over here. So what we have to add? Right? Methoxy. Why? In this case 1 carbon, in this case 2 carbon. That is lower one, that is higher one. So meth, then what we have to add? Oxy in ether. Then what we have to write? Ethane. Yes. C2, so how many carbon? 2 carbon. Hydrogen is 5 and 3, 8 oxygen, 8 hydrogen. How many oxygen? 1 oxygen. Yes. Next one is C3H6O2. So what do you see? So what do you see? How many? 3 to 5, 1, 6. Yes. So that is hydrogen. K chain ke bujhnu paryo always. What do you see? Hydrogen. Some you can say chamcha of the carbon we can say. So what we have? Propanoic acid. That is the functional group. Propane. How many? 1, 2, 3. Propane. What we have to do? OIC is the what we see secondary suffix of the acid. So what we have to write? Propanoic acid. Next one is CH3CO CH3. So how many carbon? 1, 2, 3 carbon. Correct. How many hydrogen? 3. Correct. How many oxygen? 2 oxygen. Correct. So how much? So what do you see? Methyl. That is the ester. So what we have to write? That is the ester. So what we write? Methyl. Then remaining carbon is 2 carbons. So what we have? Ethane. Ethane weight. Ethane weight. Yes. So if you write these two, so you will get full mark. Next one is 8. C4H10O. C4H10O. So what do we see? C2H5O. C2H5. How many carbon over here? 2, 2, 4. How many hydrogen? 5, 5, 10. How many oxygen? 1. So what the name of this compound? Ethoxy. Ethoxy, 2 carbon over here. What we have to add in what is ether? Oxy. How many carbon over? 2 carbons. So what we can write over here? Ethoxyethane. Next one is CH3O C3H7. So how many carbon? 1 carbon, in this case 3 carbons. So lower we have to consider lower carbons. What we have? Methoxy. How many carbon? Remaining carbon 3. So what we can write? propane. Yes, so all are very, very important for you. Next one is C5H10O molecule, that is the molecular formula generally given you in examination, asked you examination. So how many carbon over here? C2H5CO, C2H5. How many carbon? 3 carbon, sorry 5. 2, 4 and 1, 5. How many hydrogen? 5 and 5, 10. How many oxygen? 1 oxygen. So what the name of this compound? 2, 3 position keto group. So what we have? Pentane. In which position? 3 position keto group. So what we write? Pentane 3-ONE. ONE is the what you see? Secondary suffix of what you see? Ketone. Yes, likewise CH3, CO, C3H7. So first carbon, second lowest substituent. So first carbon, second. In this, from that side, what we have? 3 and 4 position. In this case, first and second position. So lowest substitution is considered. So what we have? How many carbon? 5. So what we can write? Pentane 2-ONE. Why 2? In 2 position is keto group, and for ketone secondary what you see suffix is what we have? ONE. Yes. Next one is 10. C4H8 molecular formula. So how many carbon? 4 carbon. Yes. Then 4 carbon. So what we have? So in this case, suppose double bond is over here. H. Always carbon must 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Always carbon must be tetravalent. So always we have to keep in mind. So what the name? How many carbon? 4 carbon. But in which position is double bond? That is the nearest ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we can write? But 1 and for double bond, what we have to write? ENE. ENE, that is the what is so in for double bond, what we had? ENE. Next one is what we have? Look at over here. CH3. H. In this case, 1 hydrocarbon, one hydrogen. So what is the first, second position? First, second position. Equal possibility on both sides. So what we can write over here? So how many carbon? But. In which position is double bond? 2 position. Then what we have to write? Butene. Last one is C4H6 molecular formula. C4H6. So in this case, triple bond, carbon must be tetravalent. Yes. So what the name of this compound? How many carbon? 4. So what we write? But 1 YNE. For triple bond, what we have to write? YNE. Double bond, what we have to write? ENE. So I will talk about what you see when we talk about the IPA system of different compounds. Then I will describe in detail. For the time being, so we are talking about the only examination view. So next one is C triple bond. CH3, H. We can write like this, or like we can write this one. Condensed formula, that is the structure formula. So 1 position, 2 position, 3 position, 4 position. So what we have? But2-INE. Yes. So these compounds must we have to keep in mind. Yes. So out of these compounds, any formula can be asked in examinations. So these all compounds are very, very important for you. So one as a note, for alkane compound possible isomers of the given compound is given by 2n minus 4 plus 1. So always keep in mind, for pentane, what we have? C5H12. So 2, so what you get? 2. So how many carbon over here? 5 minus 4 plus 1. So how much? 5 minus 4, obviously 1. 2 to the power of 1. So what we have? 2. We write 2 plus 1. How much? 3. So you have clear that pentane has 3 possible isomers. Likewise, hexane C6H14. So formula is same. So what we have? 2, 6 minus 4 plus 1. 6 minus 4, how much? 2. 2 to the power 2. So what we get? 4 plus 1. How many? 5 possible isomers. So you have clear. If 7, so you can find any formula, for any alkane we can find the possible isomer of any alkane compound. So thank you for watching this video. So next day I will talk about the Wurtz reaction, electrophile, nucleophile, like this.